Hello, 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 people of Zelda Speedruns. Sorry for a bit of the delay. We were dealing with the runners uh not not readying and making up their game. It's kind of an awkward moment, but we're going to get right into the action, and I'm going to turn it over to the two commentators for today, which is 64-bit Link along with Floa. You two have fun now.
Alright. Jasnix versus Jasnix versus your average Link. Well, Jasnix. What can I say to Jasnix besides that he's Jasnix?
Yeah, we definitely saw some interesting plays from him in his last race that he wound up not getting too punished for, but your average Link has shown already in this tournament that he is a formidable opponent. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that if going out of logic gets too punished in here, then we could definitely see your average Link pull ahead, I think.
Yeah. So let's see what the item on Fledge is and our required dungeons.
I can't wait for another LMF Sandship seed.
5 gratitude crystals right off the bat, so
Alright.
we may see a Betrow visit. Skyview
Skyview Sandship. What is this rando and Sandship? Oh my god.
Well, we got a break from Sandship this morning, and then the rando's like, nah, you still have to do Sandship. But we might get to see a Tentala skip depending on how the seed rolls out.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
But yeah, so this is the winners finals for group 4. So whoever wins this match will be released.
That is a very nice item to get right at the beginning in here.
Yeah, especially with Sandship because it's a required item.
Yeah, I remember my seed from yesterday, where I was bow away from go mode. I was certainly something.
Yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, so this being winners finals, winner will move on to the bracket, will be the second person to advance to the bracket. Loser will go down to the losers finals.
Oh.
Wow, 3 useful things right off the bat. I guess we'll see how useful those gratitude crystals are when we get to Betrow, but
ABC.
And average Link deciding to make a bit magic file right off the bat. I think that's reasonable given that Skyview is a required dungeon. I don't know what the first pillar is though. I haven't seen it yet.
A thing?
Elden.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Let's see. It's the... I don't know, the Jasnix route is interesting, to say the least.
Now, I think both of our runners have done similar things thus far.
Red Rupee from the Potion Lady. Okay. It's gonna be interesting to see how the seed plays out. Usually, Usually, you would say that it might be a good idea to drop into Erlen Eldy. Elden early. Oh my god, talking is hard. And because there are a lot of Sphere 0 checks in Elden. Well, technically it's Sphere 1 checks, I guess. Well, not really, since Elden is a
Yeah,
study
well,
field,
because the pillar's already there, it would
Yeah.
make it Sphere 0. Now, the one thing though is if you hang around on Skyloft a bit longer and happen to find digging mitts or a bomb bag, then you'll be able to check a lot more things in Elden. So there's kind
That
of
is
the trade-off
definitely
there.
true. Well, we're gonna
Oh,
be see if some of the runners are deciding to do cleaning crystals right off the bat.
yeah, so that's actually going to be interesting for night routing too, because one of the other long quests that we have in this randomizer is Beatrice, which requires talking to Beatrice a number of times and sleeping in between every conversation. Jasnix having a little bit of trouble cutting the logs.
Yeah,
Both runners
AverageLink
having a bit
apparently
of
as well.
trouble.
These logs are giving the runners troubles.
So, nothing in the first chest in Waterfall Cave. Actually, it's vanilla.
Nice.
And Slingshot, which doesn't really do a whole lot because we already have the bow. But it's a thing, and I guess the one thing about having the Slingshot is that it's a lot easier to find slingshot ammo than it is to find arrows. But otherwise, like, the slingshot's basically obsoleted by the bow.
Okay.
So Jasnix,
Jasnix? Probably. No. What is he doing? Going to
he's doing the extra
patrol?
play, I think. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going to stop at iDude's house and start that quest, which I
Yeah,
think
I guess.
is a really good decision.
Yeah, the iDude cleaning crystals as well, I guess. Patrol play.
Yeah. I am partial to starting these quests as soon as you possibly can, and especially with the Elden Pillar open immediately, if you happen to find claw shots in Elden, then you'll be able to just do the check right away. And I remember commenting on this on your average Link's last race when he didn't do that and found claw shots immediately in Elden, and that was one check he was unable to do. So, interestingly, Jasnix not sleeping tonight in iDude's house.
Well, I guess you can still do it in Malara's house as well.
Yeah, he'll get an extra text box leaving Malara's house if he chooses to do that, though. So we'll see what he decides to do there. Because the one thing about the routing the Exto routing for dropping into iDude's house is you want to also get the single crystal in the pumpkin patch, or like while you're there. So I think not getting that kind of defeats the routing a little bit. We'll see what cleaning crystals has for us.
Great.
Absolutely
That was
nothing.
kind of useless. Alright, yeah, average Link. Doing cleaning crystals? Yeah, doing cleaning crystals as well now.
Yeah. But now Jasnix is going to get an extra text box leaving Malara's house. Which is why I think it could have been routed a little bit better as sleep tonight in iDude's house, get the single crystal, do Betrow, and then come back and do Malara's crystals after. But I guess the one thing was both runners going to Betrow with only 5 crystals. That's kind of the downside to this play, is you're not getting the 10 crystal reward. Now,
I
statistically,
don't
the
know.
5 and 10 crystal rewards tend not to have progression nearly as often as 30 and 40, but still, well,
Interesting.
Laneru tablet.
Well, that
That's
is kind of useless without bombs or claw shots, though.
yeah. I mean, I guess or Hook Beetle, but like Hook Beetle requires finding 2 beetles. But yeah, either way, yeah, it's not going to do much for our runners now. So I'm kind of in agreement that, yeah, I kind of think that like,
Might be a good idea to collect those 5 single crystals to see what's on Patrol 10.
yeah. But like at this point though, like, do you really want to go back to Betrow for like just
No,
one more reward if you
definitely
don't
not.
have? If you don't,
Definitely not if you've already been at Patrol. Then Jasnix forgets to talk, almost forgetting to talk to Peter there. At this point in time, I think you definitely just want to go into Ellen and see what Ellen has to offer.
yeah. Now we'll see what Average Link decides to do. Average Link, I mean, the thing is, like, it's still going to be kind of awkward for him to route Night Crystals in before Betrow, but if he were to run around and get 5 more individual crystals, he'll be able to get 1 more item than Jasnix has right now. And if Betrow 10 happens to have something useful like a bomb bag or mitts, then that gives Average Link a huge advantage. On the other hand, if it's useless, then it would just be a huge waste of time.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a trade-off here. Looks like Average Link is not going to go for any more individual crystals, besides getting the one in the pumpkin patch.
Interesting.
And
That's
Jasnix heading off into the sky.
play.
There are a few other checks in the sky he can do. He can talk to Oriel to get Pero's bottle check, or he can go do what he's doing right now and go to Lumpy Pumpkin and see what's on the chandelier.
Let's take a look. He's not even taking a look at it.
It may be gratitude crystals on the chandelier, like, because the thing is, you can actually, yeah, that's what it is, because you can actually hear the gratitude crystal jingle when you enter if it's gratitude crystals. So that's how he was able to know immediately that he wanted it as soon as he entered.
I didn't know that you can actually hear the crystal jingle when you enter.
Yeah, it's really strange, but yeah, it is a thing. Also, he did not sleep in Lumpy Pumpkin that I saw, which I don't know.
Jasnix with the Jasnix route again. I think that's all I need to say about this right now. Jasnix has a mind of his own, to say the least. Okay, let's see. At least Jasnix won't go to the engine system without B items now. I guess that's true at least. Maybe we might see him enter Skyview without B items though? No, I kinda doubt that. Or maybe Sandship without B items? Who knows? It's Jasnix. I wouldn't say it's possible, but you know, it's Jasnix.
Yeah, well, Jasnix finding the baby's rattle as his first check in Elden, so that's one more fetch quest opened up.
Yeah, I guess that's true, He does already have B items.
Yeah, it's hard to enter dungeon without B items when you've already found 3 B items. I'm surprised that that bomb actually blew up the rock there. It didn't look like it went far enough. I also didn't see
with the slingshot, you're already well equipped for Skyview.
Yeah. I didn't see what was on the ledge. I know I saw Jasnix specifically check it, but like sometimes it's really hard to see the items.
Yeah, especially if it's a smaller item that's just lying flat on the ground.
Yeah, so I do want to point out, your average Link actually did sleep in Lumpy Pumpkin, which could become important.
Looks like Jasnix does not want the item on the ledge. He's going back for it? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I would get the ledge item then. Actually,
Battle
no,
of the Goddess. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, he already... Okay, never mind. This does make sense now. Yeah. This does make sense now. Okay, yeah.
So Battle of the Goddess opens up 2 checks, or actually 3 checks right now, because they did find a sword upgrade. If Jasnix goes to Thunderhead right now, he'll be orphaning the Din's power check, but at the same time, like, it is also 3 checks that he probably doesn't want to leave too long.
More crystals.
And then
so
later...
far, Elden has been a bust besides crystals, and I guess Rattle, but well,
we'll have to see what's on Rattle.
Yeah. Earth Temple Key piece, nice.
Yeah, so that's it for Elden. So, I mean, we'll see if something's on Betrothed 10.
I wouldn't necessarily say that right now, Harm. If they do find digging mitts now on Betrothed 10, then collecting loose crystals would definitely have been the correct play, I think. Because then they could have saved an Elden trip.
Yeah. But, I mean, they could also be in Thunderhead, they could be on the Rattle, in which case they were basically logically required to do a second trip. So interestingly, your average Link killing that Pyrup with the bow instead of stunning it with a slingshot, which meant that he had to sit there for a little bit for the Pyrup to actually die before he jumped down, or else the cutscene would have triggered anyways. So actually, he wound up losing time to killing it with the bow there.
Okay. Jasnix going for the single checks in the Thunder Hat.
There are 3 checks here. He'll be orphaning the Din's Power Chest because he doesn't have a second sword upgrade. But these checks could be important. But clearly not that blue rupee.
Who knows, maybe that will come in handy later.
Is there anything in this game that's like 5 rupees?
Not really.
I like how like one of the text boxes is like don't spend it in one place, and for like either 5 or 20, it's like literally everything costs more than that.
Yeah.
So it's legitimately impossible. AverageLink bonking on the bone bridge, unfortunately.
Oof.
Luckily, he had enough health that it didn't matter, but it's still,
We've seen some runners die there already. Ooh. AverageLink dropping down instead of skydiving down.
Yeah. Well, he ran out of stamina, and then I think just like did it by accident. Well,
Harp? Okay, that's interesting. And another sword.
so now they will not be orphaning the Din's Power Chest, because Jasnix will just leave and re-enter, and then he'll be able to open that chest. And having a bit of trouble with the control stick inputs to go back in.
Yeah, the Isle of Songs is somewhat weird in regards to camera angles.
Yeah.
Silver Rupee.
Okay, so
Isle of Songs not opening any progression right away though.
well, Harp opens up Colin's letter check. So
yeah, okay, that's true.
That is something, and Harp is a required item regardless.
Yeah, I mean the sword upgrade is also required, so
yeah.
It's definitely not useless.
Yeah, it's not like bombs or digging mitts, which are like the progression that I think our runners are looking for right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, Emerald Tablet would also be like immediate progression for them because it would let them reach Skyview. So Jasnix...
Claw shots might also be something right now.
Yeah, true. Well, Claw shots is one of those items though that like Claw shots like opens up so much that like when you get them early on, it can honestly be a little monk-esque because it's like, where do I go?
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right, not gonna lie.
I mean, granted, for now, like, if they do find claw shots, that probably is a neon sign pointing at Linearu. But, I'll have to see what the seed gives us. And it looks like Jasnix... So Jasnix talking to Dodo, activating a Scrapper quest, which I like. And then possibly heading into Linearu.
Okay, interesting.
Now, there is one check in logic here. And that check has been bomb bag before. And will be something like bomb bag again. But will it be something important this particular race? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, just the overall movement skill difference between the runners is kind of being shown here because AverageLink is a little bit behind following in Jasnix's footsteps. And both runners have kind of taken about the same route, so this is where Jasnix's just overall movement skill is going to push him ahead. On the other hand, if Jasnix decides to do a bunch of out of logic checks here and they don't have anything, that gives your average Link a lot of time to catch up.
If he decides not to go to Lanero, that is.
Yeah, which is true, because I know average Link is very comfortable doing break slides, so he may choose to go into Lanero, which I think would be unfortunate if he winds up doing the same routing as Jasnix.
No, I don't think that if you don't find bombs in here, then I don't think that that going out of logic this early is a good play.
But it is Jasnix we're talking about.
Yeah, and I already scolded him enough for going out of logic. So we're gonna see what he ends up doing. So he did save at his statue, and he does not seem to be happy about that eco crystal, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jasnix seems to be death warping right now, I guess. No? Not death warping? Just running around, just running back normally, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of not sure why he decided to do that save then, because it seemed like he might have been setting up a save scum, but then he didn't reset. I guess that's true. Harm pointing out, like, probably he doesn't want to have to push the card again, but then why do the save?
Yeah. Might have been to death warp, but even then you don't really need to save. So, I don't know. It's Jasnix we're talking about. So... Okay, Jasnix go now for the Patrol 10 reward, seems like.
Yeah, there's a bunch he can do here. He can turn in the baby's rattle. He can do the Collins letter check.
Yeah, it was more from like the point where he dropped off. It was rather obvious that he wants to go for Patrol now.
Yeah, but he's probably going to clean up the other stuff too, unless, well, yeah, okay. Patro 10 was useless.
Oh, fight text, nice.
Yeah. I mean, as we saw from, like, Jim versus Exo, like, there's some niche situations where Gratitude Crystal dowsing can be useful. Just because, like, in the vanilla game, Gratitude Crystals cannot appear in chests, you won't be able to douse for Gratitude Crystals in chests, but you can douse for freestanding items to see if they're crystals. And we didn't really see a lot of it, but we did see in one of... Yeah, we're seeing Jasnix checking the actual baby's rattle location to see if it happens to be Gratitude Crystals, which it wasn't.
Okay, we're gonna be seeing Pero's bottle in here. Crystals. There they are. French vanilla.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if we wind up hitting Betro 30. I mean, at this point, that kind of has to be on Average Link's mind, and Average Link is probably going to delay going to Betro until he has 30, because he has a lot more progress towards 30 than Jasnix does. Also, I want to point out that Jasnix had to, like, specifically go into a house to sleep today to advance Beatrice, whereas because Average Link slept in Lumpy Pumpkin, he can gain a little bit of time there. And honestly, like, I really like AverageLink's routing here of, like, now he's going to go into the academy, he's going to sleep tonight to talk to the toilet hand and do that, and then sleep today, and then he'll be able to get the Conn's letter check and another Beatrice conversation.
However, Aulen does not have anything yet. So that's not... not good routing.
Because in order for you to trigger Owlin's quest, you need to have checked the slingshot item on the Kikwi Elder. And our runners cannot do that yet without the Emerald Tablet.
Oh, Jasnix getting the text box skip there for the gratitude crystals. Neither of our runners have collected the single crystals on the Lumpy Pumpkin though.
Yeah, and that might make a difference. I think there's still enough crystals on Skyloft to get...
No. You can, without, you have access to 11 crystals without claw shots and without beetle. 2 are locked behind the beetle, 2 are locked behind claw shots.
Okay,
and from the other 11, 2 are on the Lumpy Pumpkin. So you cannot get 10 single ones without those if you do not have beetle or claw shots.
That is... Okay, that's interesting, especially if Betroth 30 is our required progression, because that's going to mean the fact that our runners didn't go after those 2 single crystals is going to be punishing.
Pirate charge. Interesting.
And that starts the Monka S of Levias. Actually, at this point, with Goddess Whitesword and Bow, Levias isn't all that slow.
Yeah,
it does require making another trip to Lumpy Pumpkin.
I mean, you probably want to go there anyways because you have that. Because you have the rock there as well.
Yeah, true. So it might not be all that bad. And it's at this point it's interesting because at this point you may start worrying about single crystals because you're closing in on the Betroth 30, but you don't necessarily have a lot of checks left that can be gratitude crystals. So we'll probably see AverageLink do some single crystal collection after checking this item.
We've not seen the rattle check from Jasnix yet, did we? No, the runners have already checked cleaning crystals. They wear a heart piece.
So Jasnix going to immediately check the spiral charge rocks.
But going for the one behind Blubby, that's interesting. Like, why would you go here without checking the one at
I mean,
without checking the one at the Lumpy Pumpkin first?
Well, this one is gratitude crystal, so turns out that well, at this point 30 is in logic with single crystals.
Yeah.
I mean, neither runner has gotten to the 25, but they have access to 25 from packs of 5.
AverageLink actually did check Patrol 10 without 30. No battle rattle from Jazz.
Yeah. Jasnix, unfortunately, missing the... It looks like he was going for the clip. It's interesting. With Spiral Charge, you can actually clip through the Spiral Charge rocks. I'm not even entirely sure how it works, but... yeah, okay, he winds up blowing them up. So...
Okay. Average Link now actually now going for the single crystal collection. So did he already realize that he cannot get 30 just on Skyloft? If so, I'm wondering where he's going next.
So yeah, Jasnix, meanwhile, is picking up the pumpkin soup. Okay, Mario, that makes sense.
Ooh, did Jasnix just get pumpkin soup?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't really understand his route. Like, why does he go to Fun Fun Island first, then go to Lumpy Pumpkin to get the pumpkin soup, just to go back to the Thunderhead again? Then I would have said go straight to Lumpy Pumpkin, get the soup, get the Spiral Charge Rock, then do the Spiral Charge Rock at Fun Fun Island, and then go to the Thunderhead.
My only thought is, like, more information. Maybe he was just thinking, okay, if the Spiral Charge Rock near Lanayru happens to be bombs or claw shots, he abandons that plan and goes right into Lanayru. But yeah, I agree. Like, from a
kind
path
of like
link, from a path length perspective, what you said definitely makes sense.
He's Jasnix and he's Jasnixing. Yeah. Jasnix already on the 4th Beatrice combo though.
Okay, what is AverageLink doing? I was worried he was about to go into the Lanayru pillar, but
that is a good question. He is searching for the Spiral Charge Rock?
Yeah, he's just basically, again, following in Jasnix's footsteps. Wow, he barely landed on that island.
I'm not really sure if Average Link now getting pumpkin soup as well. Okay, so it looks like our runners might meet at Levias now.
So yeah, the checks we currently have logically are Betrow 30, and both runners now having 25 crystals, so they know that 30 is in logic for both of them. And Jasnix is probably actually going to be the first to check Betrow 30.
Okay, average Link now sleeping in the Lumpy Pumpkin. Now he's gonna be collecting the single crystals in here. Okay.
And unfortunately, Jasnix
No, actually
hitting this.
not. He slept today.
Yeah. Jasnix, meanwhile, accidentally hits this trigger
Then
outside Malara's house.
Interesting play. And that was also interesting. I mean, you already know that you're at 25 crystals, and I mean, if you're already at the Lumpy Pumpkin, then I don't know. For me, it would have made sense to get those crystals.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Average Link making the gamble to not go for them. Now, according to Average Link's tracker says he has 30, but so I don't know, he might think he has 30. If he doesn't,
I'm not
then
sure
he will
30?
be in for a rude. Okay, he does have 30.
Oh, he does have 30. Okay,
He gets
Stone
a
of Trial.
paperweight. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Stone of Trials is basically a paperweight.
I always
in
forget
these
about the
settings.
chest. I always forget that Patrol had 30 is actually 2 rewards. There's the Emerald Tablet, okay.
Yeah, so I think you just rush Farron at that point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're Average Link, like, you know, like, you're the less favored runner, you should just, like, push your advantage. And,
Yeah.
I mean, and this isn't, like, me trying to knock Average Link, this is just the fact that, like, in this particular matchup, like, Jasnix is the number 2 seed overall, if I remember right. So he's definitely up against a formidable opponent, and he knows that. So still not heading right to Farron though, but I think that's what he needs to do at this point. I mean, he doesn't know that Jasnix hasn't found it yet, but I feel like if you are the less favored runner, you kind of need to push the advantages you get, and finding that Emerald Tablet is a huge advantage.
Jasnix is really pushing for Patrice now, though.
I mean, he knows that it almost bit him in the ass last time. So he is going to make sure that he doesn't ignore it this time. And I mean, who knows? Like, especially with that early Elden Pillar, like, we still have not found bombs or mitts to advance in Elden. So that could still be on Beatrice. As much as, like, we've found other progress items, like, it'll be a really interesting if Jasnix does happen to find progression on Beatrice. But looks like Jasnix is going to get his Emerald Tablet now.
That's impossible, Henry. Because we already know that because Jasnix already is the largest meme. So it's impossible for him to be the second largest meme. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。
. . 。 . 。 .
I don't know. He could be both the largest meme and the second largest meme. That would be a meme in and of itself. So
I guess you get a point there. Okay, Jasnix is now gonna find Emerald Tablet is as well. Alright, ballot check.
yeah. So this is a fairly long check, but it is required because it also raises the gate of time. So so both runners are going to have to do this at some point, and are basically forced to on their first Farron trip.
Interesting though that we haven't found a single song yet. I mean, we did find a piece of the Song of the Hero, but I'm actually excluding Battle of the Goddess from the song list because Battle of the Goddess just it does not have the song function in the rando. That's why I kind of exclude Ballad of the Goddess from that. But yeah, we have not seen any
have not seen
trials
any-
or
any
any trial
trials.
hints so far. So
Well, speaking of
the devil.
trials, I think you just willed that into existence. But unfortunately, Nehru's wisdom not too important, so we will not be seeing that today.
All right, let's see what Patrice got. Blue bird feather.
So, last time
Jasnix
Jasnix
not
got
happy.
last time Jasnix got punished for ignoring Beatrice, and this time he got punished for taking the time to do Beatrice early.
Oh god, I just realized though that if Jasnix actually loses this match and I win my match against Harmjan, then I actually have to oh no, I actually have to play against Jasnix. Oh no.
So AverageLink looked like he was thinking he was trying to run around the trigger, but that I think the trigger for that is like really huge. So he does kill both Bocos, but he's running past it because if he's able to beat Skyview now, then that will automatically set Machi to be saved. And that way he won't have to do the Machi chase.
Ooh.
Interesting that AverageLink is pushing this log down. Like, I don't know if he maybe plans to go back that way later.
I don't know, I mean, you could just check in the wood statue.
So that is not gratitude crystals.
That is, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, yeah, fire shield earrings.
Okay.
Not useful to us yet. We will need either claw shots or both bottle and magma mitts for those fire shield earrings to be useful. Jasnix, having entered Farron, is also doing the slow Ballad of the Goddess chess. Check.
YourAverageLink now going into the woods and presumably going into Skyview as well.
Yeah, I think that's the play. I mean, so there will be 2 items that AverageLink will not be able to check, because one of them being the dig spot because he doesn't have digging mitts yet, and one of them being the 3 eyes chest because he doesn't have beetle yet.
I mean, who knows? They could both be in Skyview.
Yeah. Is AverageLink gonna set up for extending blow? Looks like he was kind of going for it, but then didn't really get the correct setup. So maybe he was just trying to get that Boko out of the way. He is also at 1 heart.
Gotta be careful a bit here with his Q-Wop.
Yeah. If you do it correctly, then it's fine, but
Ooh,
sometimes the Boko decides to be a troll.
That looks way too far away.
And he also gets only 1 more shot at this.
Oh, that actually worked. Okay. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was a bit of a freehand setup because he kind of, at his first attempt, was really scuffed, but he did get it in the end. For Rory's Courage, you might need what it
reveals. Interesting.
So,
at this point, could be literally everything.
AverageLink taking the time to save at these statues.
Why is he constantly saving?
I don't know. Yeah, Jasnix actually being smart and checking the freestanding item behind the bomb rocks to see if there are gratitude crystals. AverageLink getting stuck in the spider web. So the Gratitude Crystal dowsing will let you find freestanding 5-packs. It will not, however, let you check for crystals in chests, because in the vanilla game there are no Gratitude Crystals in chests. Interestingly, though, this is a Sandship seed, which means that if our runners beat Sandship, they will be able to get treasure dowsing, which would give them the ability to douse for treasure. Jasnix setting up for the so he was setting up for what I like to call the Hundo extending blow, where you position the Bokoblin in a specific position where if you extending blow from that position, you will land basically right next to the chest. Didn't get it, but it would have been cool to see if he did. Jasnix also kind of free-handing a setup for Cube Warp. And unfortunately...
Walk of shame for Jasnix.
Average Link also not hitting the crystal below the first door, so now he has to take a small swim of shame to hit that crystal. If you don't have claw shots, it's significantly faster to hit that crystal first before you do anything else in this area.
Jasnix pushing down this lock. Interesting. He did not. Well, okay. Well, I guess you check the statue if you go out of Skyview again.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he remembers to either push the log down or
He
check
did
the
push the
statue.
lock down already. That's why I was a bit confused. I was like, well, okay, you don't really need to push the lockdown. You could just as well check the statue. But then he did not check the statue. So, well. Whatever.
Now, Jasnix using a lot of arrows, which may come back to bite him a bit because arrows are all very limited resource.
Vanilla map. I feel like the map in Skyview is almost always vanilla. Don't ask me why.
I mean, I don't know. I think I've seen the map plenty of other places, but I think in the last race it was vanilla.
Might as well just be because we don't get to see many Skyview seats. Because
Fair.
all other seats are literally just Sandship or LMF or Fire Sanctuary.
You seem to have a certain distaste for LMF.
Oh yeah, I don't know how you realize that.
Yeah. So as I mentioned previously, like our runners do have to abandon the dig spot. Now, interestingly, like Average Link had a seed that he was doing, like, or a practice seed he was doing earlier, where digging bits were behind, or like in the beetle chest, and he did the bit warp and was able to get them before doing anything else. So I'm like, maybe slightly surprised he didn't go for the bit warp. Now it looks like he's gonna go for the bit warp, but I think I don't know. It's interesting that you'd go for the bit warp with a small key, but I guess he's just thinking that if like the second small key is at 3 eyes, then he won't be able to get it and he'll have to do the bit warp anyways, so he might as well just do it now.
Yeah. I mean, the second small key might as well be behind the bars. And he doesn't know the slingshot setup, I guess.
That's also a possibility. Yeah, if he doesn't know that setup, that is advantage Jasnix, because I know that Jasnix knows that setup, because Jasnix runs 100%. Average Link not realizing that in this partially loaded state of that room, that item isn't there.
Yeah, unfortunately, you get a You gotta actually raise the bars for that one. Having a bit of troubles with this nostalgia. Okay. Okay, he did not get hit by the spider. Good.
Yeah, that would have been terrible because he only had one heart, and if he died before being able to hit that crystal switch, then you'd be doing the bit warp all over again.
That is... Crystal? No, Colin's ladder. Okay. That kind of looked a bit weird. So I wasn't entirely sure what that is.
I think Average Link like vaguely knows that slingshot setup is a thing, but I don't think it looks like he hasn't done it before. Also,
Beetle's insect cage. The Horned Colossus beetle.
So basically the wrong beetle.
Who knows, the wrong beetle might lead to the right beetle.
True.
Not, wouldn't be the first time we see this. Okay, Jasnix is now going for the bit warp.
Yeah, because at this point, the small key has to be in one of the two checks that they can't do yet.
There are, however, still 2 more checks they can go for. Average Link, still not really sure.
He also doesn't have a lot of slingshot ammo yet, so he only gets a couple
Nope,
tries
but
at this.
now he's out of ammo. And what is he going for? More ammo?
Yeah, there are places that you can find more ammo. I think there's like at least one mushroom you can bonk for seeds, I think, but yeah, I think giving up on it, unfortunately. Which is going to be advantage Jasnix.
That is, if something is behind the quest, behind pipit crystals.
True. It could be blank, but even if it is blank, it's going to be hanging over Average Link's head for the rest of the race.
That's true.
I mean, granted, there's also going to be the digs. There's also an item that they're just not going to be able to check, either at 3 Eyes or the dig spot. Average Link looking for slingshot ammo, but I don't think, unfortunately,
in the Vanilla Beetle location, Mario.
Jasnix not paying any attention to that, and I'm surprised. Like, Jasnix clearly saw it was Colin's letter and then just walked away from
There's
it.
the boss key in the vanilla location.
Wow,
okay, that's interesting.
Like, everything's vanilla in this Sky View.
Yeah.
Because actually, like, one of the other small keys has to be vanilla, because in the vanilla game there are 3 small keys, because in Skyview 2, the door leading to the hub room gets a new lock put on it. So it's
Okay,
interesting that-
Jasnix actually right behind AverageLink though.
Yeah. And this might come, like, who finishes the dungeon first might come down to Gear Game RNG.
Yeah.
But both runners leaving behind Colin's letter.
Interesting. I mean, it's currently not in logic, so I guess I can somewhat understand it.
Yeah, and I guess, like, they know they potentially may need to return here, but why take that risk?
Hmm. Oh. Nice counter there from AverageLink. AverageLink's gear him looks a bit, I don't know, looks a bit sloppy. Kind of reminds me of my own Girahim fights.
Yeah, well, I think this also comes down to the skill difference between the runners. But
Okay.
yeah, I think
AverageLink somewhat faster of about 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, I think AverageLink actually lost time in that Gary game fight, just because I think he entered, like, significantly before Jasnix, but
Yeah,
Jasnix with the cleaner
definitely.
fight was able to catch up.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, Harm.
Yeah, that is true. And also, I noticed, like, AverageLink was using shield strats there. Which, if you're an inexperienced runner, it does make sense to use shield strats because they are significantly easier. You don't have to think about which direction to slash your sword if you just shield bash his charge attack.
Oh,
AverageLink
Jasnix actually finishing Skyview before AverageLink though.
Yeah.
He hit the crest a few frames faster.
Also, AverageLink going for the Skyward stab on the crest. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
And AverageLink saving again. AverageLink really likes to save his game. That might also cost him valuable time. I mean,
Yeah.
it already did. Like, if he would have saved two less times than 2 times less, then he would have finished Skyview ahead of Jasnix.
Also, AverageLink pushing that log down after, so that does kind of make me think he is consciously thinking about the fact that he may have to return later. Also, still hunting for slingshot seeds. I mean, he could have bonked the tree I say we, but I wasn't in the community back then, used for early life tree seedling. Because that, I think, drops 3 packs of seeds.
Okay, Jasnix now directly going for the trial.
Yeah. I would not be surprised to see AverageLink doing the same thing.
Nope, he's not going for the trial. That's interesting.
Also,
So
Jasnix,
if the trial is a bust, then we might see AverageLink pull ahead.
also Jasnix getting harp cancel there by hitting B right before the last strum, which causes the game to cancel you out of the harp playing, but you still get the last strum in, so you skip the whole cutscene of Fi singing.
Although I guess, looking at your current items, I don't think there is anything in the progression item pool which you don't want. Because you want a bottle, because you don't have one yet, and crystals as well, because, well, you're definitely not at 50 yet, and you're still miles away from that.
Yeah, that is actually a very fair point. I mean, the only thing with crystals is if there's faster packs of crystals you can get, but I think
Ooh. That
That's-
was,
that's an uncharacteristic error from Jasnix, or I guess I should say uncharacteristic movement error. But yeah, so I think the only way that like this really backfires on Jasnix is if it's crystals and there are 4 packs of crystals in better locations. Other than that, like I think Jasnix made the correct play here.
yeah, I mean, you definitely know that it's in the progression item pool. So, I mean, technically, AverageLink might be doing fair and trial as well now that he's saved Lobsa.
Yeah, AverageLink pushing down that log so that when he most likely comes back for Owling Crystals, and yep, he's gonna do the
Yep.
trial now.
Okay, that's interesting. Din's power, you might need what it reveals. Oh boy.
So we've got the trial chain.
The trial chain, let's go. Specs would be happy. Somewhere in the distance you hear happy Specs noises. Jasnix, however, does not seem so happy.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing with the Elden trial is that it is the longest by far. So it's like you really don't want to have to do that trial. Also, Jasnix using one of his very limited arrows in expressing his anger. Also, AverageLink either not getting harp cancel or not going for it.
I guess technically someone could update the hints command if someone is able to. Oh, nice, we'll get Gideon to do that. Farora's Courage gets changed to Din's Power. Nehru's Wisdom useless. Din's Power might need. Average Link's blink is uncharacteristically glowing.
Yeah, there's some weird
That's
things about.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's some weird things about AverageLink's like either emulator or copy or SS or something, because he has a few oddities like that.
It kinda looks funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So Jasnix is about done collecting crystals. Also remembers to push the log down.
Collecting crystals? You mean collecting kiwis?
Yes, what I meant to say.
You're welcome. Oh, claw shots.
Yeah, well,
Ooh.
I think that's going to... Well, first send Jasnix to the Great Tree, because we can now check that chest. And then to Lanayru.
Yeah, claw shots are definitely nice for the Great Tree chest.
Yeah, so it does mean that he's going to have to defeat the moblin at the top of the Great Tree in order to despawn the void plane that prevents you from just landing below.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah, that's
what we call lucky.
I don't think that was intentional, but it worked out. Also, especially after defeating that Quadro Baba, I disagree with doing a death warp here, because you can just do... So you can basically do a jump slash that lands you right next to the exit. So I don't think it's actually faster to do that death warp unless you have one heart. Also, what did he get from the Great Tree
Heart
chest?
metal.
Okay, so nothing terribly useful. AverageLink probably doing the exact same thing.
Don't tell me Jasnix is going to Lake Floria, please.
Well, he's heading in that direction right now. He might just be getting the In the Wood statue, but if we know anything of Jasnix from last time, okay.
He's not. Good. I was holding my breath here.
I mean, I don't like checking that chest. Like, I don't think is that bad. But
ooh, AverageLink wasting a lot of arrows on that moblin.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know how many he has left. He has 10.
Okay,
He's gonna
Jasnix
want
now
that.
going to Lanayru. Gonna be interesting to see where he's going now. If he's going to in the actual desert or if he's going to Sansi.
Yeah, well, first he's gonna check the landing chest.
Maybe that's gonna give him a hint.
Yeah. I should also point out that there are two checks on Skyloft that are now open because of claw shots.
More gratitude crystals.
So yeah, 40 is now in logic as far as Vitra rewards.
YourAverageLink is still missing another 5 that Jasnix has though. Like not only the ones that Jasnix just collected, but also another 5-pack, I think. Because YourAverageLink has collected 10 single crystals, I think. Did he?
Did he have the capability to collect 10? I want to say he collected 5. Okay, so YourAverageLink is gonna make the play towards the Skyloft checks that I was talking about, and also verifying that the rattle item is not gratitude crystals. Although at this point, if you're going to collect it anyways, like I don't see a reason to skip it if it's gratitude crystals.
Yeah.
So like I think at this point, if you're going to get it immediately anyways, it's not really worth dousing it.
Okay, Jasnix going into the desert. Interesting. Not going into Sandsea.
Yeah, I mean there are a few checks he can do here.
Rupee metal. Okay. YourAverageLink now advancing the Patrice quest as well.
Yeah, I just know like a lot of runners are reluctant to go to Sandsea, myself included. But
I don't know. I always feel like Sandsea is nice.
I feel like in very early versions of the randomizer it was nice, but it like I think like since the tourney version it feels like Sandsea has been barren more often than not.
That might be true. And I also only think that Pirate Fortress is nice. I don't think so about Skipper's Retreat.
Yeah.
Sand gets everywhere. It's coarse and rough. Oh, there's the sea chart. Interesting.
Yeah, so
technically he could do
he could enter Sandship, and he could, like, depending on where the boss key is, he could be able to complete Sandship.
Yeah, that's actually true. What Chat just says, he might only need one more sword and be in go mode.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Which would be a very short seed in here. If the sword, for example, ends up being in Sandship.
Yeah, not as short as
And
the seed earlier today, though.
He did not. Am I crazy, or did Jasnix not check the other two chests in the?
He can't. He doesn't have bomb bag.
Oh, true. Okay, yeah. Right. Right. Palm bagels.
Chazik's like opening his B-wheel, like...
Is it? Does he really want? Does he want to show us something? Oh, beetle. Interesting.
Yeah, and
Normal
so
beetle, not really opening anything though.
Well, it does open up one of the checks that our runners could not check earlier in Skyview, and also like is the logical access to Colin's letter.
Yeah.
So if a sword upgrade is behind Colin's letter, then that's kind of costly for both runners, really.
Okay, let's see what we've got in Zelda's room here. I would guess that Jasnix is gonna go to Sansi now. That would be the only logical explanation right now. I guess he's gonna go into Sandship and see whatever's in there.
And a sword in Zelda's room. So, okay.
Damn. Okay,
We
that's
just-
interesting.
So if Average Link goes and like rushes Fire Node, I would put him in the lead.
Yeah.
But he's also now checking single crystals, so or getting single crystals, so I don't know what Average Link's plan is.
Also, keep in mind there is a setup for sea chartless Sandship. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If I was in Average Link's position, I think this is definitely something to do.
yeah.
Like, because it is not certain yet that you actually need the whip for Sandship.
Yeah, and that... Yeah. It's a tough call there because, like, I probably... If I had whip, I would almost... I'm in that situation, I would definitely do Sansi's skip. I mean, it does take a bit to set up because you have to set up... you have to bit save a new game file, RBM the Betrow flag onto it, and then use that to RBM the crystal, but the thing is, without having a whip and not being certain that you're in go mode, it's a lot tougher to make that call. But
Yeah.
if you know you're against Jasnix, or you're against a formidable opponent, like, do you take that gamble? Because Jasnix certainly is taking that gamble. And there is a slight bias towards the boss key being in one of these small key checks.
Okay, gonna be interesting to see here.
Or one of the small key locked chests.
Interestingly, Jasnix does not push the. Jasnix does not shoot the time shift stone and directly goes for the combination lock.
Yeah, that is... Well, I mean, he also is fairly limited in what he can do. Also not, like, starting to activate the generator, but I guess that kind of makes sense. He wants to just rush the checks he knows he can do. But he's also... It's also gonna kind of... I don't know about this, because it's also kind of... The map chest is one thing that he's going to have to go back for. And he can check this chest in the present just fine. Or in the past just fine, I mean.
Yeah. kind of an, I don't know, weird
Wait.
route.
Wait, when did Average Link get a bottle?
Chat says it was from Beetle. Gale. Interesting.
Okay, Average Link
Gale.
is... Okay, well, So that opens up the Gorko Goddess Wall check in addition to Lake Floria and the Shed Chest on Skyloft. Now, I wonder, could this potentially be the required double dip of Sandship? Like, that's unlikely, but like, it would be something.
I guess something that you have to keep in mind is that if Jasnix finds out now that he does need a whip for Sandship, then he is that knowledge ahead of Average Link.
Yeah, that is true.
Because we're definitely gonna be seeing Average Link then going for the whipless Sandship as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on what Average Link does here. He could go right to Sandsea and checks. I mean, he could check Pirate Stronghold, although I guess that's really... Yeah, I guess he probably goes to Desert, because checking Pirate Stronghold is not really the best play here, because it's so far out of the way and only has 3 checks. There's also the possibility, as slim as it is, that Whip could be in the first chest of Skipper's Retreat.
God, that's like the worst place for the whip to be.
I mean, I will not disagree.
It's
But
even
I
worse when
also
the whip
heard
being
of it.
somewhere in AC.
But I mean, this rando has done evil things like that before. Like, there was a seed where Gust Bellows was in the skydive chest.
Oh god.
Which I'd argue is even worse.
Ah, that might be. Yeah.
Looking at this seed right now, we're about to find out what is in the Heart Piece chest. That Jasnix just
Okay,
bombed.
Average Link deciding to directly go to Sandsea. Interesting.
Jasnix finding a small key. So, we'll see what he decides to do with that small key. So, if he might check the map chest, and if that's not a small key, what he will probably do is save and then check the bow chest, and if it's nothing, he will reset and check the vanilla boss key chest. Yeah, Mario, but the only thing is, like, without
Here's
Gust
the
Bellows,
other
you
small
literally...
key.
Yeah, without Gust Bellows, you don't really have a reason to enter the shack in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, again, that's not relevant to this seed. Is Average Link going to go for the play for the one chest in Skipper's Retreat?
Maybe.
He looks to be heading in that direction, but
I mean, technically, it's right
No,
on the
he's
way
not.
if you're going to Pirate Fortress.
yeah, no, okay, he
There's no
was.
need for Jasnix to save Scum. He's got 2 keys. He's got 2 keys. So there is no need for him to save Scum. Yeah, map chest was another small key. Fighting Skirbo without a shield is one of the most annoying things in this game.
Agreed. Although at least he has the Goddess White Sword. So he has a longer sword, which helps. Like, the real worst thing is having to fight Skirbo with the Goddess Sword and no shield.
God. Is Practice Sword even shorter than Practice Sword is probably even shorter than Goddess Sword.
True. God,
So
I don't even want to
useless.
think about how this fight would go with Practice Sword.
Oh boy. I haven't done any swordless seeds recently, but
Required Skirbo, like, with Practice Sword is a thing that you would probably wind up rolling to. Knowing the seeds that you roll.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is something that I ended up rolling. But it also sounds like something great for a plan though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Definitely true. Average Link getting a wallet upgrade, not what he's looking for.
Damn, you're ahead of me. No, he just got the wallet upgrade on my end.
Yeah, his stream is kind of like going in and out for me, so I think it can I guess it's having some sync issues as a result.
Okay, let's see if Average Link finds out that Whip is in Pirate Fortress. If so, that would be huge.
Also, boss key is vanilla. Okay, his stream literally just skipped past for me getting the item.
Wow.
Did you see what it was?
No. Oh, you mean the second chest in Pirate Stronghold?
Yeah.
That was a heart container.
Okay.
I have not, however, seen Jasnix get the boss key. He's still in the adjacent room, killing the Bokoblin right now on my end.
Yeah, same.
So,
this check is gonna make or break the race. If this is boss key, Jasnix doesn't have it in the bag yet, but he has a significant advantage. If it's not vanilla, then well, we now know where the other beetle is.
huh. Maybe gonna ask if we can get if it's possible to somehow resync the streams.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna refresh my view and see.
Yeah, let me do that as well.
Yeah, well, now I can see. Probably shouldn't have both done it at the same time, but
I mean, there wasn't anything interesting right now happening because we saw that the boss key was useless and that the third chest in Pirate Stronghold was not really useless, but
yeah, but I mean that hook beetle could turn out. So we know where both beetles are, which means that hook beetle is in logic.
yeah.
Which, first beetle was, where? Is it somewhere in Lanayru? Okay, it was one of the chests in desert. Yeah, he got it during his Lanayru desert dip. Okay, so Jasnix now checking Pirate Stronghold. Neither runner going for the single check in Skipper's Retreat.
Okay, interesting.
And I mean, it's fair because it's like so unlikely to be there. Also, getting a bottle like as Paro's second reward is
The
kind
Paris
of a slap in the
rewards
face.
were swapped. They were both French vanilla. You got the crystals. You got the crystals for the bottle, and the bottle for the crystals.
That's kind of funny.
Nice.
And the runners are probably furious. Oh no. Average Link is going back into Skyview without Water Dragon Scale. But if Whip happens to be on Colin's letter, then this is what Average Link needs to do. But that's a really big if.
That's a big gamble again. Yeah,
and the worst thing is if like he winds up having to triple dip Skyview, that's going to be really, really bad for Average Link.
Jasnix avoiding those flowers like they mean that. I mean, a midless seed doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. Because interestingly, I yesterday had a really long seed. It was nothing within tourney settings or anything, which took me a total of 6 hours to finish. But even after those 6 hours, I still didn't have a single mids.
Average Link like has the beetle and it's still, I think, trying to do the slingshot setup but unsure how to do it. At this point you just use the beetle. Like,
yeah,
it's loses like 10 seconds, but it's far better than losing like a lot more time not being sure how to do the slingshot snipe. Okay, he does manage to hit the crystal with the beetle. His calibration looked really wonky there.
I think something we also have to keep in mind is that Average Link still has not found his sea chart.
Yeah, as soon as he goes into desert, though, he'll find it, and he'll also get his hook beetle. Average Link accidentally
Jasnix just got. So, guess we're gonna see him go back into the desert.
Yeah. That seems like it would be the most reasonable play. Well, actually, Hook Beetle doesn't really give him anything in desert. It does give him access to one more check, actually 2 more checks in mines. So the question is, does he want to go back to...
Without bomb back, the Hook Beetle is currently kinda useless.
Oh yeah, and I was talking about Skipper's Retreat earlier. Skipper's Retreat, actually, they couldn't even do anything in Skipper's Retreat without having either Whip Bomb Bag or Hook Beetle. So now that Jasnix has Hook Beetle, he now finally has access to 1 chest in Skipper's Retreat. And whip locked behind Hook Beetle like that is something that this randomizer would do. Because I have seen bomb bag behind whip like in Skipper's Retreat so many times that I would not be surprised to see a whip behind Hook Beetle in Skipper's Retreat.
Okay,
So this is
going for this single check now.
Yeah, it's one check. It very well could be whip, but it's unlikely. And your average link just getting the small key, and I'm sure is furious. So that means that the remaining item in Skyview, we know for a fact now is on the dig spot, which we don't have access to yet.
Totally forgot about the eye check, honestly. No, crystals.
I mean, we still don't know what's on Betrow 40 or Betrow 50.
That's
so
true.
one of those could be whip.
That's completely true.
And there's also
50 is definitely in logic.
Yeah, 50's in logic. The Gorko Goddess wall is in logic.
I mean, it could also still be that the whip is on Levias.
Yep, Levias is in logic.
It's been in logic for quite some time now, actually.
Yeah. And, like, you really don't want to be dragging around the pumpkin soup for as long as these runners have.
Yeah, because you know what else is it? Actually, no, it's not in.
Yeah, you were about to
It's
say
not in
Allen
logic.
crystals.
No, I was about to say Spirit crystals, but no, they're not in logic yet.
Yeah.
Actually, they are. They are actually.
How?
Hook Beetle.
True. Yeah, that's like one of the. That is one of those really interesting like quirks of the logic that we tend to forget about, but yes. Oh no, Average Link accidentally saying no to Owlin there.
Yeah, you want to say yes to Owlin, but no to Fi.
Yeah. And it's really easy kind of in the moment to just you're trying to like quickly select the text options, and it's really easy to like say the wrong option.
Yeah, I also think Jasnix will definitely get the sword here. I cannot see him not get the sword.
Yeah. So the swords are going to be even at this point. Okay, so if Colin's letter is whip, like, this was available to both runners forever. And I understand Average Link just not being comfortable with the slingshot setup. I don't understand why Jasnix didn't get Colin's letter. Like, even if he knows that it's out of logic, like, it's a check you just, like, not collecting it is just putting yourself at so much risk. Because you want to be able to turn it in when it is in logic.
Alright, let's see. Jasnix is also gonna be getting his first bottle now. Alright, so let's see. What is it? Oh god, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Of course. Of course, it's Jasnix, I forgot.
Yeah, well,
I could actually see Jasnix losing the race to Bugnet, not gonna lie. That would be funny if Jasnix lost the race to Bugnet and to playing around with the Bugnet.
I don't really see that happening this race, but like I could see it happening later on in the tournament. Okay. What are you doing, Average Link? Looks like heading back into Lanayru.
Interesting, okay. Where was the other beetle actually?
One of the chests in desert.
Okay, I figured as much. Thought it was
Okay.
probably in the desert.
Now, I wonder, so I don't know that Average Link ever checked the first chest in mines. But I guess he's not going for mines at all, because he just claw-shotted up there. I would probably not be leaving mines at this point. I mean, I guess, like, mines is still, like, the third chest in mines is still out of logic, but you do have one beetle. So I don't know.
Okay, now Jasnix is gonna get the sword from Zelda's room.
Yeah. So that will put Jasnix also into whip mode.
Whip mode, very interesting.
So we have the predictions for on Levias for the whip. Which, if it is on Levias, like, the runners put that off for so long.
Yeah.
And unnecessarily so.
And I mean, they both have Master Sword right now. I think at this point you really don't want to do Elden Trial. Because at this point you could, I don't know.
But, oh yeah, because there is also that Elden Trial, and it could be important, but at this point, like, if it's gratitude crystals, it's bad, whereas that wasn't necessarily the case back when they were doing the Farron trial. So,
Yes, Battle Cats, it is actually open. You can get there. You can get there. Hook Beetle does allow you to get into the later half of Elden Volcano.
yeah, there's so many places that whip can be, like, scattered all over the place too, which is kind of unfortunate. And it's kind of just how this seed is played out, unfortunately. Like, I don't know if this is something where I can really fault the runners for having all these checks all over the place. It's just that, like, the timing.
Something where I think Jasnix still has the advantage, though, is Jasnix knows now that he does need the whip for Sandship. AverageLink does not know that yet. And once he finds the sea chart, he will likely go for Sandship and be very disappointed that he's not going to be finding the boss key in there. That is a good, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes that Jasnix is ahead of AverageLink.
Yeah. But now that, like, now there's a couple checks now that AverageLink can do here with Hook Beetle that, actually, I think it's just this one.
Okay, Jasnix is making the Patrol 50 play. That's interesting. I never saw anyone dive there. And he falls off.
Hey.
Curse Metal on Hook Beetle.
Cursed metal, nice. Thunder Dragon Soul. Jasnix is not amused.
Yeah. There's still one more part of Song of the Hero out at large. Also, AverageLink is about to get his C chart, and will unfortunately, like, in his position, the play that makes the most sense is to gamble on the Sandship not being whip locked, but we know that it is whip locked, so
Yeah.
it's just like unfortunate for AverageLink that making like what would normally be the optimal play is not going to pay off for him. But we'll see. AverageLink has surprised me before with his plays, and he could surprise me again.
Okay.
We'll see how he reacts to this.
It's gonna be interesting now.
Well, no, like, immediate reaction from him other than just heading on out.
I mean, what other reaction would you expect?
Fair point. Okay.
The only other reaction you could see there would be a death orb, I guess. Jasnix going to viewing platform? Oh, Jasnix did not check the statue by Skyview. Interesting.
Yeah, did Jasnix push down... One of the runners pushed down the logs.
Yeah,
We'll
Jasnix.
see. Okay, so that's his plan to get back to Skyview. So, Jasnix can activate the Gorko Goddess Wall. But Jasnix also... what is Jasnix doing?
I have no idea.
Or did he not push that log down? Because I thought he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, there it is.
So yeah, he can check the Gorko Goddess Wall, which is one check that AverageLink was not able to do.
Obviously, checking the statue by Skyview would have been the better play for him.
Did AverageLink push the minecart down? I didn't see him push the minecart down, but
I don't know.
yeah, because I wasn't paying attention to him, but I'm seeing things in chat about Tantalus skip setup. And AverageLink,
Yeah.
unfortunately, making the play That
was to be expected.
Yeah. It will not pay off for him, but it's the sensible play. Meanwhile, Jasnix is going to be disappointed by the 3 Eyes chest.
You know, something that still strikes me as odd is that Jasnix still did not ever check what's behind the gate.
No, he knows what's behind it. He just
Does he?
didn't pick it up for some reason.
Okay. I thought Jasnix just directly ignored it and never checked what it was.
I mean, Jasnix has been known to make some bizarre decisions, but that is not one of them.
I mean, it's Jasnix, so yeah. I'm not surprised by anything he does.
Yeah, so summary right now is Jasnix knows that he is on a wild goose chase looking for Whip. Average Link is about 5 minutes away from finding out that he is going to also be on a wild goose chase for Whip.
The wild goose chase. Always lovely to see that. You know, it would be really wild. It would really be wild to see the whip in Elden. Or like spirit crystals.
Yeah, and like I could definitely see Elden not really being on any of our runners' minds because, well, there are 4 checks open in Elden right now. Because there's the Volcano Ascent chest, there's iDude, there's the Volcano Summit check, and there's the Trial. The Trial is probably going to be like the legitimate last thing that either of these runners do. But like because the Hook Beetle as access to back of Elden thing comes up so rarely, I could see this as a thing that just the runners aren't really consciously thinking about. Like I think out of all the seeds I've played, having Hook Beetle be access to back of Elden is a thing that's only come up once for me.
Yeah, you know, it might. You never know. It's the rando giveth and the rando taketh away. So it would be wild. It would be wild to see that being required.
Yeah, I mean, that would be wild to see. The other wild thing to see would be the required sand ship double dip.
Yeah.
An average Link out of arrows, so stunning this Bokoblin to avoid getting knocked down. Also, average Link's calibration looks terrible. Like, that's not a reflection on him, that's just his emulator setup, unfortunately. Yeah, you can see him doing spin attacks in an attempt to fix it. I think, like, preferably when you're trying to fix calibration issues, you go for vertical slashes, but
I always thought stabs would be the best way to fix calibration issues.
yeah. I just remember when I, like, Jim talking to me a long time ago about how the vertical slashes, but either way.
I didn't know there was a ferry there. That's interesting.
Yeah, there is.
That's good to know.
Severely out of the way. There's also on the other side bombs that we actually pick up in 100%. Because, like, we just happen to need a bomb refill at that point in the route.
Too bad you cannot pick up the rando bomb.
Yeah.
There's Tumbleweed!
Yep, Jasnix validating his run with the validation Tumbleweed. Which, depending on where Whip winds up being, AverageLink may not be finding that.
Song of the Year, probably not too important.
Yeah, rip. We will not be seeing that Silent Realm today. Jasnix waiting for an air refill. One of the changes in hero mode that isn't really talked about that often is the fact that your air meter is halved compared to normal mode. So it can make some swimming sections a little awkward.
And there's another bottle.
Do you recall if Jasnix checked the shed chest on Skyward?
Yes. That was a live metal.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think now that you say that, I vaguely remember it. So the only other scale lock check that's left is Gorko Goddess Wall.
Doesn't seem like Jasnix is going for that though.
Which is really strange because, like, the Gorko Goddess Wall has a ridiculously high chance to have progression. And you're right there.
Oof. That's interesting. Yeah, we know that Farron Trial was required, which gave us the song for the Elden Trial, which revealed to us that the Elden Trial is also required, or might be required. Let's say it like that. We don't know yet if it's actually required or not.
AverageLink not safe scumming the key, which he doesn't know yet that he'll get another key here. But that's interesting, and it's one of those awkward situations where, because it's gratitude crystals, and he's not at 50, like, the gratitude crystals could technically be important, but you also want to check both of the key lock chests, and now he's going to get the other key, so it's not really going to matter that much. Also, like, is he going to make the same mistake as Jasnix? I mean, I guess maybe not so much a mistake, but he's going to have to reactivate the time shift stone on the deck, climb up to the upper deck, and then turn the time shift stone back off.
What was on Skirbo?
5 gratitude
Trash.
crystals.
Trash, I'd say.
Yeah, well, it was... I mean, I guess the interesting thing is, like, actually, like, for both runners, like, those gratitude crystals are actually part of their 50, so... Like, not quite trash, which actually makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So now, Jasnix is doing checks that AverageLink has already done, and AverageLink is now cleaning up the last check in Sandship before realizing that he was required... Unfortunately, Average Link not quite knowing where to stand to hit the time shift stone here, and is probably going to get owned by the BMOS as a result.
Ooh.
Not getting owned by the BMOS. That is, yeah.
Alright, where is the whip gonna be?
I want to point out that Jasnix did a swag break slide into the Collins letter cutscene. Because, I mean, say what you will about Jasnix's sometimes bizarre routing decisions, but Jasnix has a very high level of mechanical skill at this game.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree on that.
And like this seed, like
wrong room.
Okay, I was about to say something complimentary about Jasnix's routing, and then he does that. So I guess
like,
I will.
For a moment, is there anything in the director's room? And yeah,
Not in the randomizer.
Yeah.
In the vanilla game, like in the intended progression of the vanilla game, you have to talk to him in his office twice, but this is not the vanilla game, and there is absolutely nothing to do in the headmaster's room. Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
we could have him give us a hint or something like that. Just like he basically does in the base game.
That is true, and something I haven't really thought about. Like, that could be another hint location. Song of the Hero is garbage. That can go into the hints.
Alright, and there's the scale for Average Link.
Average Link is furious about that scale.
He doesn't even know yet that he does not need that scale. Or
Well,
actually,
we don't know that yet.
Don't know that yet, that's true. Also, Jasnix doing Levias. Oh boy.
I mean, at this point, I think that it's a fine play. Like,
Oh, this is a very interesting Levias in doing a 360. Not quite.
Whip cannot be an Ancient Cistern because Ancient Cistern is not a required dungeon. And in these settings, progression cannot be in required dungeons. Okay, so Average Link is going to take time to activate the generators, even though he cannot do anything in the engine.
I mean, I guess that's something you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad play.
You know, whip will be required. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, like, whether you do it now or later, you're gonna have to do it, so. Average Link's just deciding, okay, he's gonna do it now. And I mean, I guess like while he's doing a lot of this, he can also be thinking about what his next play is going to be, because like he doesn't like he's just kind of going through the motions of doing that. So
yeah, I guess if
and I guess kind of same for like the Levias fight, like Jasnix probably can be thinking while he's doing this long fight that's just going through the motions, he's probably thinking about what his next play is going to be if Levias does not have the whip. But I mean, Levias has had required progression on so many occasions.
he might have something that is not the whip, which still might be required progression.
That is also true. But we'll find out momentarily.
That is nothing.
Jasnix is very upset. Pulling out the hook beetle for some reason. I think he wanted to pull out a bomb, but because he didn't have bomb bag, he couldn't do that.
Yeah, 2 hours, 50 minutes in and still no bomb bag.
No bomb bag, no mitts, no whip.
Okay, let's see. Okay, now he's going for the Goddess Wall. The Goddess Wall.
Goddess Wall has an insanely high chance of having progression, so this could potentially be it. And if it is it, then it means that it was a required double dip into Sandship.
Alright, so what's it gonna be? Error in repose.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's show us a beautiful arrow, Jasnix.
Yeah,
well, that's
Jasnix is partial to that line.
It's not really beautiful. Well.
Yeah, Jasnix is partial to drawing a line, and it works for him and literally no one else. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Deesh tried it in a race, and it didn't work, and Deesh was, like, furious.
I never tried it. And I'm kind of not really inclined to try it in a tourney.
Okay, so it could be on Allen Crystals, but Allen Crystals is not in Logic yet. At this point, like, it's that, Elden, or the, I mean, I guess, like, third chest of Linearu Mine. Well, actually, no, Linearu Mines, all of it is in Logic. So it could be in the second or third chest in Linearu Mines.
Oh boy, this sure is a seed.
Is there anything else you can think of?
Well, I mean, chat is saying Elden, and I'm not really inclined to say no to that.
Top of LMF requires activating all the nodes, and activating all the nodes requires bomb bag. So it is, top of LMF is currently not in Logic. But I would also not be surprised to find a bomb bag soon. That bomb bag is not going to be on Owling Crystals because Owling Crystals logically requires bombs.
Something else
because
that would be wild would be if the whip is in Skyview in a digging mid spot in Skyview. That would also be wild.
yeah, I mean, what we do know now is that the first dip into sand chip was not required. But since both runners did it, like, neither runner lost time.
We don't know that yet. No, wait, never mind. No. I was thinking that beetle. No, I was thinking that the beetle was in Sandship, but no, that was actually in Pirate Fortress. So never mind me.
Average Link, I guess, going to Lake Floria.
Yeah.
Which is a reasonable play, but not the correct one. I mean, like, I'm thinking at this point, Eldon is probably the answer, but I'm also not surprised that neither runner has that in the front of their mind.
Yeah, I mean, Eldon with Hook Beetle is something.
That is certainly a way to describe it. But, I mean, this could also be Whip, even though it's out of logic. So... imagine if Hook Beetle leading to Bomb Bag leading to Whip.
That would be interesting. I mean, Hook Beetle leading to anything is already very interesting already.
Well,
nope.
Not here, but Jasnix. I think both runners are upset at this seed. So I think this race is gonna come down to who thinks to go to Eldon first. And I mean, both of them. I mean, I know that Average Link is using a tracker, so
yeah.
Like, it should be being lit up for Average Link that those checks in Eldon are in logic. And I presume Jasnix is also using a tracker. Okay, he's flying out Jasnix is flying out in the direction of Eldon.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He is going to Eldon.
Okay, interesting. Alright, let's see. Where is Jasnix going now? I mean, there isn't much for him to do here. What is for him to do here is Volcano Summit, getting the Crystal Ball for Spirit, and the Elden Trial. That's it.
Also, he is not familiar with the way that you actually blow this up with Hook Beetle, because I don't think this works.
Definitely not like this.
Or at least when I tried it, it didn't work. Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to take the bomb from across the bone bridge over.
It does somehow work like this. It's just very weird. It's not easy. It's easier if you get the bomb from across the bridge.
Yeah. Okay. Jasnix, realizing that, is going there. Oh no! Average Link is now triple dipping Skyview.
What? Oh, jeez.
To get the Goddess Wall.
Oh, jeez.
Like, this is really unfortunate routing for Average Link. And not to say that was necessarily bad, just that it's just because of the way that the items kind of showed up for him that he... I mean, I don't know. I think the fact that he had to leave Colin's letter behind was probably weighing on his mind, which is why he came back the first time, and now he's coming back for the Goddess Wall. Worst case scenario, whips on the dig spot and he winds up having to quad dip Skyview.
Oh boy. Quad dungeon dipping. That sounds terrible.
It is still within the realm of possibility.
Red rupee.
Yep, that is vanilla. I guess Jasnix is setting up a save scum.
Damn, ADN cheating and betting twice.
Okay, so Jasnix heading to Volcano Summit. We know that Volcano Summit has had progression before.
Alright, let's see. This I also note that there is still a hidden 4th sword upgrade somewhere, which the runners might end up finding earlier than Whip.
That is true. That is within the realm of possibility. Average Link disappointed by the gold rupee. Firing one of the arrows he got right back at Gorko. I mean, I don't know if Gorko quite deserves that, but...
Oh, Goku. That's a hard piece.
Okay, Average Link still needs to do something in Farron, because he thought about...
Oh, don't worry. This isn't only the 3rd run in a row with Sandship. This is at least, I don't know. We had enough runs with Sandship. Okay.
Jasnix going for Elden Trial.
Jasnix going for Elden Trial. He did not get the crystal ball yet, though.
Yeah, I mean, the crystal ball's a little out of the way, but like, so you know you're going to be in go mode when you return to Sandship, so I mean, I get it. He's right here. And so he's probably thinking, like, just path length-wise, he might as well do this trial, which is extraordinarily slow.
Okay.
Also, Average Link.
Average Link also going to Elden now.
So it may be a race to iDude. If Average Link goes to iDude first, it would mean that he'd be giving up the pumpkin soup, but we know that Levias is nothing. He does not know that, but I mean, he could potentially decide to make that gamble. Also, activating the Pirate again. I mean, it could also, like, this trial could also have Whip, in which case we would actually have a trial chain leading to meaningful progression.
Oh boy, that sounds like fun.
So Average Link, not wasting as much time as Jasnix did, blowing up this boulder with the hook beetle. So he gains a little bit of time on Jasnix there. But we will see, like, if he decides to do the trial now, or if he decides to go, like, to iDude immediately. The other point is also, for Tentala skip setup, like, if the runners want to just climb to the temple entrance where the crystal ball is, like, the intended way, they can stop by the Thrill Digger cave to get the BX08 flag, which will make for a faster Tentala skip, because they'll be able to directly spawn in the Cursed Metal chest. But Average Link is looking like... Average Link's not going to do that. He looks like he's going to do the exact same thing as Jasnix, which is unfortunate for him because as long as he is following in Jasnix's footsteps, then he's not going to... Okay, well, he is extending the bridge.
No, Average Link is not capable of outspeeding Jasnix. He's gonna outroute him.
Yeah. Which, right now, he did extend the bridge, which means he might be heading to iDude, which might mean that both runners descend on iDude at around the same time.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything that he's carrying Soup right now. I think that he can just get the crystal and get back the Soup later, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he could do that. It would probably be weighing on his mind, though, that he is abandoning Levias, but he also knows that he needs to make a gamble if he wants to win this. And that gamble might just be that he's saying, okay, if my whip is on Levias, then I last location it, and unbeknownst to him, that is the correct play.
That's actually true, Harm. I didn't even realize that until right now. Yeah, extending the bridge doesn't do anything for you without bomb back.
That is true.
Actually,
well,
could you get Hook Beetle the bombs over the bridge? I guess you could do that. Just you've got the weird positioning of the bombs in the hut though. I don't know if that works.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay, he's resetting, and that means I mean, well, we know.
Okay,
yeah,
Jasnix is now done with the Elden trial. What's it gonna be? That's the whip!
That is go mode for Jasnix,
and that's go mode for Jasnix. And yeah, he's about 5 minutes ahead of Average Link, and I think this is pretty much GG.
Yeah. Unless Jasnix, like, really screws around, I think Jasnix has this in the bag.
Did Jasnix catch the trial with the fucking... Jasnix.
Well, he was attempting to at any rate. So now the question is Jasnix going to set up for Tentala skip? Because I don't think he has yet. And actually, if he hasn't yet, then he may not, because, like, going back into Lanayru Desert to set it up is going to be a pretty hefty time loss. So he never checked the harbor statue. I guess not that that's that big of a deal, but it's going to be slower getting a sand ship from skippers than it would be from harbor. This is one of those like situations where I'm like, you basically default to always check the statue because it's like,
Of course Jasnix has the bug in that ADN. I mean, we're talking about Jasnix. Of course he's got the bug now.
yeah, that is a interesting neon yellow for your average link right there.
Nice.
Now it's neon light blue. So yeah, this was a required trial chain.
Interesting.
Having to like, this is the first time I think I've ever seen like a trial chain where the end of the trial chain was actually required.
Yeah. No exclamation mark. DQ command.
Well, I mean, I don't think Jasnix is going to pull out the bug net during Ganon for the simple fact that Ganon is not in this game.
That's true, I guess. Ooh, actually, I kind of forgot about that. That Average Link already did activate the generators, which is something that Jasnix did not do, so they're not actually that far apart as it seemed like in the first place.
Yeah, but still, like,
This is still a few minutes for. This is still like 2 to 3 minutes for Jasnix in the lead.
Yeah, also, Average Link kind of going for a unorthodox route for this trial, so it's hard for me to kind of gauge where he is. But he is about halfway through. And yes, chat pointing out that this is in fact a bomb bagless seed.
Yeah, very interesting.
Which, I mean, it does limit the amount that the runners had to check. Like, if they had bomb bag, that would have opened up a ton of stuff in Lanayru, and you would have probably seen a full clear of desert. Average Link having some calibration issues on the rope.
Yeah. This is definitely until something major happens. Unless something major happens, this is definitely A win for Jasnix.
Yeah. I mean, one place where AverageLink might make up a little bit of time is that AverageLink, I believe, has set up for Tentalus skip, so he should gain a little bit of time there, but it won't be enough to make it even close to even.
Yeah.
But I think like this probably will be something like maybe just a little over 5 minutes between the runners in the end is my prediction.
Yeah, they're still making it close. Which in the end, again, oh, there's the mids, nice.
Jasnix not happy.
There's the boss key. Still checking the other 3 chests though.
Yeah, I mean, one of them could be True Master Sword.
Yeah, that's true. Well, apparently not. He was like, okay, I'm checking one of these chests, but not the other 2. For whatever reason.
I mean, no one understands what goes through Jasnix's head.
That is definitely true. I'm not sure he even understands that himself.
So AverageLink looking for one last tier, and that's always very Monka-esque. Like if you, because like I don't know that he was like specifically following a route, because he was kind of all over the place with like what tiers he was getting. So this. Yeah, and he's actually running low on time. Actually, it's one like right near the beginning, so I think, or is it not? No, it's very far away actually.
Which one is that? Is that the one at the rope? I thought I saw one. No, doesn't seem to be. Ooh, he's running out of time. That's bad.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see.
And that's it. Oh, jeez. It is the one at the with the rope. Oh, jeez. Unless I... No? Was it not? I thought I saw something. Oh, no. There, I see it. Okay. Oh, God. This is... scary.
I think he'll be fine as long as he manages his stamina correctly.
Okay, yeah, there's no guardian there.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like, this being already a long trial as it is, and then the fact that he forgot a tier just makes it, like, that much worse. Because he lost a minute and a half to that tier easily. Just because he had to like run the whole way back around and now has to run the whole way back. Also needs to wait for the Watcher cycle.
Jasnix fighting his favorite boss. His I don't know, how do you say? His the inspiration for all of his art. Alright, that's the whip for AverageLink.
Yeah. So that's going to be...
This seed can be added to the folder of very interesting seeds, to say the least. Yeah, that folder is already full of seeds.
Jasnix serenading Tantalus.
Jeez. I wish it was possible to turn off Sanchip on the required versions too. That's a nice fall. Jasnix gonna pull out the bugnet during Ganon. Nutters,
So
Nopers. Well, technically the Nopers are correct, because there is no Ganon in the game, as we already mentioned.
yeah, Average Link not turning on the ship. Or did he only do like half of setting up the generators? Looks like he only did like half of setting up the generators. Oh, and then, okay, so he opened up that room, but he didn't go inside and open up the left generator room.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Average Links just doesn't really have a lot of experience with the sand ship routing. And that unfortunately is also going to cost him a ton of time because he's going to head into this room and then realize that the ship needs to be off.
I really wonder how at this point you cannot have experience with sandship routing, because let's face it, sandship is in so many seats. If you did not practice sandship at this point, then it honestly is your own fault.
Yeah, well, I can only call what I see, and I just see like this being a mistaken routing.
Yeah, that's definitely true harm. Jasnix could definitely have checked Tantalus.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
Tantalus
think
skip.
he just didn't really want
He
to.
just didn't set it up.
My guess is Bombag and Skipper's retreat.
Yeah, somewhere Skipper's retreat or in the digging mid spot in Elden.
Average Link with a severe case of NA aim, unfortunately.
Severe case of NAA. That is a very interesting way to describe it. The severe case of NA Meritus. Who?
Although his calibration looks very off, so it's actually may not be entirely his fault.
Who knows? Maybe maybe Jim did something to the code before he set up the tourney version. That it's actually all and every seat is required to have sand shift. Who knows? The third kebab of the day.
Well, it's looking like it. Jasnix has potted the spile twice. And yep, Jasnix with the third kebab of the day.
Damn. If you don't get the hand, it's not a kebab. Okay. Thank you for the inside X though. Alright, yeah, Jasnix down with him too. He's only got the Horde, Giram 3, and Demise left, so yeah. Alright, now we're gonna be seeing Average Link going for Tantalus Skip. At least something we're gonna be seeing out of this match.
Yeah, so I'm not sure like how much he wound up setting up. If he wound up pushing the minecart. But we'll see what he does here. Okay, he must have set up the minecart because he has 3 files here. So he does have the shed opening cutscene on file 3. So he doesn't need to make it nighttime. He made an attempt to load his water dragon scale into back in time. But looks
guess it was only an attempt though.
Yeah. Jasnix actually using the bow on the blue bogos in Horde. Which I don't is honestly not a bad strat.
Okay, let's see if Jasnix gets forward skip. Okay, average. Okay, yeah, that's a smooth forward skip. Average Link going through all of the Betrayal rewards now. Just fast. Must have been a genius who came up with that type of name. Search for second Stone of Trials. Get Stone of Trials and bit. Yeah. Alright, that was a pretty smooth port fight from Jasnix here.
Average Link struggling a little bit with the boss key. He actually had it for like half a second but didn't trust it, and now he's
There, no, that's not
hitting
it.
the boss
You need
key around.
Nope, that's the wrong. Nope. Jeez. I always use the red point as if I mess it up, I always use the red dot as kind of like a pointer.
Yeah, I mean, if I mess up, I just hit the C button to reset it and then try to do the hand motion again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, like, Average Link's also a relative newcomer to the community, so it's possible he just doesn't know the hand motions, and he's just, like, relying on just, like, visually seeing how it slots in. But for every boss key in this game, like, there's just a hand motion that we memorize that basically takes it from its starting configuration to how it goes in the door.
Oh. Not getting the shot in there. There's the wretched bread. Ooh.
So, Average Link done with Sandship.
This is the sub 3 from Jasnix.
Yep. Entering the demise fight now. And even if he does mess around with the bug net, which we know he's going to do, like, he's still gonna sub 3.
Yes, Alex, of course it's another Sandship seed. Because we've simply not seen enough Sandship yet in this tourney. One day, this bugnet is gonna cost Jasnix. I'm telling you.
Yeah, in a race that's closer. Unfortunately, in this race, the skill gap kind of was wide enough that Jasnix has a pretty comfortable lead and will not be punished for that. I don't know. I mean, using the bug net here is basically the equivalent to saving the animals in Super Metroid.
What? What is he doing?
He's really
GG's to Jasnix,
yeah,
I guess.
with a time of 2:58.42.
I have no idea what he was planning on doing there.
He just wanted to leave us in suspense. And flex a little bit.
One day his stuff is gonna cost him.
And we are joined by...
welcome, Jasnix. Hi.
This is... I don't want to talk about.
So, what did you think of the required trial chain?
This was so bad. So, first off, last location in Elden Trial. That was fun. Fun fact, I didn't even know I could access Elden Trial until I did Owling Crystals and just got nothing, and I was incredibly confused. So I just checked. I didn't know I could use Hook Beetle there, but apparently I could. And so that was kind of what told me to go do it.
There was also mines open.
Oh, true. There was mines, yeah.
Yeah, which was irrelevant this seed, but that was also a possibility.
No bombs. I have no idea where the bombs are. They were missing the seed, and that was really annoying because the bombs are always so useful.
I would probably guess they were either in Elden digging that spot or in Skipper's Retreat.
Yeah. Baron Trial. I hate that Farron trial because it was literally what unlocked. It was a trial chain, and that's just awful.
I think
I'm so mad. This is like, I was so worried because I wasn't sure if the seed was just the seed being terrible or if I was just routing terribly. But after like an hour and a half, and then I just couldn't find the whip, I was like, this is just the seed just not working. And then before that, I last location. What was it? What was the item I was looking? Oh, Claw Shots. I checked. I did Skyview, and I was complete panic mode because I forgot I could get Colin's letter, but I didn't. So I was incredibly nervous about that Skyview visit, and so I completed it. And then I was just gonna try and look for a beetle before I went back to Skyview, or I was gonna look for beetle and scale. And Slingshot had Claw Shots, which was the last location that could have been, or one of the last locations, which was really annoying. Then I kind of did the right play by going to Lanayru, and then doing, like, main part of Lanayru first, because that gave me C-Chart. And then C-Chart led to Scale, and then Scale led to Farron, and Farron led to nothing. And then Farron led to more nothing on Skyloft, and then Skyloft led to nothing. And then there was a Hook Beetle somewhere. And then I was back, and then I was back to Elden. So it was a mess. Harm was the one who rolled the seed, so we could all officially hate him.
So yeah, Jasnix, you are gonna move on into the group into the bracket stage of the tourney. So yeah, you've successfully passed the group stage.
That's good. I was really worried about this race because I wasn't sure where YourAverageLink was. Or I was, like, obviously didn't know, but I was really unsure because this race, if he had checked Elden Trial faster than I did, he would have definitely won. Did he do the same progression as I did? Or what was his progression chain?
He had pretty much the same progression as you. He was usually only a few minutes behind you.
Okay, yeah, so it seems like this was like the weird, like, this is just one of those troll seeds.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the routing difference is he found the sword before he went to Linearu, or the sword that was in Zelda's closet before he went to Linearu. But then
I
he also
see.
went right to Sandsea, so he wasn't able to get to Sandship immediately, and then made the play back to Sandship after he got the Sea Shard later, and of course, you still needed Whip. And I think,
Yeah.
and in the end, I think he went into Elden Trial like right after you left Elden Trial. So,
Okay.
but unfortunately, he wound up having some issues in Elden Trial. Specifically, he forgot one tier and had to go back for it and had the timer run out.
Oh.
So, I mean, he got it fine, but yeah, it was a bit monk-ass, and he lost a lot of time to that.
Yeah, that was just. I'm gonna try to find straight really fast, but that was just one of the seeds that I don't know. It also had just one of the most complicated progression chains I've like ever seen, because Emerald Tableau was like Betrothed 30 for some reason. That was was that Emerald? Which tab? I don't remember what tableau that was, but it was way like later on. And then then you had to do Fair and Trial, and you also had to do Slingshot Check. I'm trying to remember where the rest of the stuff was. Like, Scallop was really useless to see. There wasn't much there. I think I full cleared all of Skyloft. I don't know. I did most of it though, and that kind of gave me nothing. I'm just mad. I'm just mad at Harm rolling this atrocious seed.
Yeah, I saw you slash a lot of chests.
Slashed a lot. I slashed Leviath a lot. I was incredibly mad because that was also like the logical choice. Spiral Charge and Harp, or not Harp, but Battle of the Goddess. They were like really low sphere checks, or low sphere items, and so Leviath was like, Leviath has to have something because of how in logic he was from the start. And then there was nothing. He just gave me nothing. Revenge. I bought the bug net this seed. Honestly, what could you expect? I played around with Demise a bit. I homed. I wasn't on the race time tab for the end, so I had to home buffer going to kill Demise. Like I was in the air just like before the final slash, and I home buffered to get back onto the screen. That was great.
Why that? Anyways, a question that came up in chat is after you got the boss key in Sandship, you checked the third chest in the treasure room, but why did you only check the third chest, not all of the chests?
Because in my mind, I was like, I kind of want to get True Master Sword because I have been really bad at Horde. And then I checked one chest, and I was kind of like, no, there's no point to this, and left. It was basically just, I got one chest, and I kind of just rethought my decision, so I just left.
Yeah, I also noticed you used arrows on the blue cap photos.
Yes, that was a new strat I figured out not figured out, but it was a new strat I tried yesterday, and it kind of worked out. I was doing some practice. It works well if you have Master Sword, because it'll one-hit them, but you have to clear everything else out.
Yeah, I might have to steal that strat, because, like, I hate dealing with the blue cap Bokos with Master Sword.
Yeah, it's impossible. I don't know how the optimal strat to do that fully is. It's just it's so weird.
So I guess, like, back to the bracket thing, like, are there any runners that you would want to face in brackets or absolutely not want to face in brackets?
I'm gonna actually check who's right. I want to check who is in.
Yeah, so like
I'm gonna check the bracket really fast because I want to see who's made it out so far.
Yeah,
I think the only one who made it out so far is Jim. Unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just you and Jim right now in the bracket, and both of you are going to upper seeds in the bracket, so
Thank God.
obviously it's each other immediately.
Here's the. So. Okay, let's see who we have. So if I'm a 1 seed, that means so yeah, I don't have to face Jim, that's nice. Kickoff versus CJ. To be honest, I want Kickoff to win because I don't want to face him. As sad as it is, I really don't want Kickoff to win. So I want Kickoff to win. I'm sad. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I really don't want to have to play like Lepe first round. I don't know how I'd do against him. Kit Kat obviously. It's scary. Who else is scary? Obviously, Exto. He's in the second bracket. He's the scariest person I'd have to play. That's a really scary match. So,
Yeah.
I think Exo's like definitely the person I'm most scared of going against. Like in general.
Well, AverageLink is on the second phase of Demise, so...
I'll be finishing up shortly.
Ooh, did not get the lightning there.
And then Demise got the lightning, and that's really bad.
He's really struggling with the calibration.
Yeah, he had some calibration issues again, dude. Ouch. During oh, he's got a fairy.
Okay, so
Oh, jeez, this calibration. This calibration is something. Ooh, scary. Careful.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, please.
Okay, come for the initial threat again. Yeah. Oh my god.
Lightning?
Lightning?
This
Okay,
is such a
he's done.
scary demise.
And GG!
Hooray!
Yeah, that was season and a half.
I think that is a scene and a half. That's like twice as long as the Mario vs. Kick Out match.
This is good for Floha and I because either A, Floha gets to get his rematch against me, or B, I get to enact revenge on Harmjan. Both of those are good outcomes in my book.
Okay.
I wonder how chat liked my emulator's decision to make my tunic glow during trials. You even got to see the orange one for longer when I forgot the tier.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Like seeing Link glow up so much in the trials. That was yeah.
I mean, if I lost that match to my demise troubles there, that would have been really sad, but thankfully I lost earlier.
Yeah,
So,
like I think so you entered if I remember right, you entered the Elden trial like just after Jasnix left.
Oh.
So there was already like a 5 to 6 minute gap between you, and then of course you had the issues in that trial for getting the one tier that cost you a very significant amount of time.
I'm a little sad that I almost last-ish locationed the trial, but I mean, other than that,
Yeah, well, so
I
did
was really sad
Jasnix.
that I got baited by the fact that I got Water Dragon scale.
So What is your personal opinion on the required trial chain?
It is not very nice. To be honest, throughout this seed, I was thinking, in order to beat Jasnix, I'm gonna have to take gambles. So I did a bunch of gambles, like Skyview, even though I executed Skyview like the worst he possibly could have. And yeah, and then also not doing Levias, even though he was really early on.
I did Levias right before I went to Elda, which was pain.
What was the item?
Levias had a piece of heart. He was completely useless, and I was mad.
Yeah, I figured once I got the 30 crystals, I was like, maybe Levias has crystals, and since I already grabbed the 5 individual, I could go straight to 30, which had the tablet. I was wondering, did Jasnix also grab 3 or 5 individual? I think you had to, but did you do it like immediately, or did you like last location them?
I believe I had last location the 5 crystals. I definitely did that really late on. I think I did last location because I done the one linear check before that. So I believe I did last location that.
Let me see. What else?
So one thing I'm wondering too is like, so at what point did like the back of Elden with Hook Beetle enter your mind?
Very late. Like after doing a lot of linear, I looked at my tracker and it's like, well, that's a mod. Okay, fine.
Yeah, because I think like
it's starting to let me down now.
I remember because my last location I had in my mind, like I think I actually still have 9 left, but the last location I had in mind was Owling Crystals. I did that and it was useless. And I was confused.
I was about to do Owling Crystals, but then I realized I don't have bombs, so it couldn't be in logic.
Oh right, that is a bomb lock check. Oh, that was, oh, okay. I keep forgetting that.
I made a lot of dubious decisions, especially at the start. My execution at the start was pretty bad.
Yeah, same for me. I messed up a lot of stuff. And my routing, like, I did a lot of random bad stuff that didn't intend. Like, I did a save right before the mines chest. Because I was gonna save scum it. Then I remembered that I'd have to push the minecart a second time if I did that. So that was like, it just kind of gave up on that.
I was
wondering about that.
Skirbo and the boss key, but then Skirbo gave me crystals, and I'm like, what if Whip is on crystals from Betro? And then
I had gotten the small key. I got the small key from the mast, and then I did the other chest, and that chest was a small key, so I just didn't even have to save scum. I was gonna save scum it, but I didn't even have to.
I think the only save scum I did was the check-in Volcano Summit.
I saved scum that as well, you know.
If you another thing about like my cursed game is that every time I exit a load zone, I'm like dripping with water, even when entering the demise fight. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, I did notice that actually. I noticed that you were wet.
Don't take this out of context.
I'll have to. I don't.
Yeah, Melt's gonna notice.
I think I'm using a normal version of Dolphin. Like, let's see. It says Dolphin 5.0-13603.
Now, I want to quickly mention how amazing, how much faster. I think the seed would have been like at 2:15, assuming the BK location.
If I did the Elden Trial thing after getting Hook Beetle.
Yeah, but there's also just the boss key and sand ship. If that was in the first couple of chests, that would have removed the whip requirement, and that would have been a lot faster. Because then Colossus was still fresh in logic, and you would have probably checked Skyloft immediately anyway. Because you could have got debated by digging mitts, but I expect you would have gotten that extra sword really early. I got that immediately after my first trip to Sandship, because I did too. I got that immediately after my first one. So
did you have TMS or
no? I didn't get TMS.
No. I had master. My Go mode item was basically whip. It was C chart for a while, but then let's see. Did you do Tentacles skip?
I did not. I was gonna set it up, but I forgot. Oh wait, you did do it?
Yes. Didn't end up mattering though.
Yeah, I was going to set it up in West Desert because I had passed by, but I at that point was still missing a sword, and I was thinking I could just go mode off of Sandship because the only thing that was stopping me from go moding was whip, and if I just kind of gambled on Sandship being non-whip locked, so I just decided to not risk a sword being on the heart container.
Wait, which
So,
sword were you missing?
I just
It's like, I'm trying to remember. There was one sword like really early on, like I think Owlin crystals or Owlin shield. I mean, and
I think Owlin shield was a sword. I remember one of the goddess chests. Oh yeah, the goddess chest in Isle of Songs was a sword.
yeah,
And then there was Zelda's realm. Those are the three I
Yeah.
remember. So yeah, that was an early sword seed, and they weren't too much of a problem.
I got
Yeah,
debated
no,
by when I in my first trip through Skyview. I tried to do the like snipe thing, but I ran out of seeds. And then eventually, a while later, once I got Beetle, I came back for the letter, and it turned out to be complete garbage, and that made me really mad.
I did
Do you
the
want to know
exact
what
same
isn't
thing.
complete garbage? What isn't
yeah,
complete
Beatrice.
garbage? No, Beatrice is garbage, but Zelda Speedruns is not garbage. And we're going to go send everyone off there because that's what we do. Great race, though. Really enjoyed it. Beatrice stinky. Well, it's been a fun one, everyone. We're starting to go off to Zelda Speedruns. They're doing the Ocarina of Time weekly race there, the NA weekly. And that's about it. There's a lot more stuff tomorrow on pretty much all the channels, so feel free to check it out. And we'll see you all later. Goodbye.
See ya.
See ya.